Hey there, Pile 1. This is your reading if you chose the Rose Quartz Tumblestone, and we are going to be tapping in to your ex and then the energy of your connection. And we're just going to be channeling messages from them, seeing what they're thinking, how they're feeling. Are they entertaining thoughts of coming back or returning? And so, you know, I'm going to be a very honest conveyor of messages. So just letting you guys know, don't give me a thumbs down if you hear a message you're not necessarily wanting to hear, okay? But let's just get right into it. God, I love how clear this rose quartz piece is. I love it. All right, so first, let's kind of just see what the overall feeling is of this energy between the two of you. So first we've got the romance angels, and it says true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. That's a really good place to start, Pile 1. Oh, and then we have wish. So I'm right off the bat, you guys, I'm picking up that this person is definitely hoping for a reconcile. They're hoping for maybe another chance. And then we've got trust issues. So this may have been what kind of broke the relationship down between the two of you, is some trust issues. And I do feel like if that's accurate, then this person is, wanting to work through those with you, okay? Wow, what a great start. All right, let's start with this one. Oh my gosh, you guys, I got the pink Divine Love Oracle. I absolutely adore this deck. It was hella expensive, I'll be honest with you, but so worth it. I'm actually done buying decks for a while. I'm in the process of completely revamping my my wardrobe because I'm kind of in the middle of a glow up right now. So I'm like, if I'm gonna stop buying decks for a while, I'm gonna buy this one. I got it on Etsy for those of you that are wondering. All right, let's get some information for Pile 1. Tell me about the connection between them, and that's way too many. The connection between Pile 1 and their ex. Yeah, we can take those. All right. So we have quality time, togetherness, and enjoyment. They're missing you, Pile 1. Stubborn, hard-headed, talking to a brick wall, and that might be why, if they have not reached out to you yet, is just because, I don't know, it's almost like they're wanting you to reach out first. But I feel like they're coming to a space with it, Pile 1, where they're just, I'm like, maybe possibly expect expect them to contact you somehow. Here we've got speak up, stand up for yourself, and stand your ground. So I feel like that's more for you, Pile 1. If you kind of have like a spotty record, like if your relationship was very off and on, make sure if they come back into contact, if they want to return, make sure you make your desires your needs. You got to set your terms and conditions moving forward so they know what their boundaries are, what the expectations are, and stuff like that, okay? Fireworks, loving, passionate intimacy. And this is how they feel when they're with you, and they really, really miss that. They miss the fireworks. Definitely miss the fireworks. All right, let's get some more information. Pile 1, tell me about your ex. Pile 1's ex, talk to me. That one wanted to come out. Oh, yep. They are definitely hoping. They're hoping. They're looking for, I have a feeling they're kind of trying to sniff around a little bit to see if they have a chance again with you. They're just, yeah, they're really, really missing you. regardless of what might have been expressed to you, pile one, they felt very, they felt very fulfilled with you, very emotionally fulfilled. And right now, in your absence, they're just not, they're not doing too well. They're not doing too well at all. They're afraid of you moving on. Or maybe, so either they're afraid, and this is probably both is true. It's like maybe they tried to move on and they hadn't been able to. Like they tried to start a new circle. They tried to shut the door or close the chapter on this connection. And they tried to move on, but they haven't been able to. They're very much in this Five of Cups energy where they're just feeling very kind of like forlorn, longing. You know, they do have a lot in their life that they have to be thankful for, but right now they're really focused on the loss and the loss of this connection and the absence. Yeah, they're not doing too well, pile one. They're definitely, they are missing you. All right, tell me what are they wanting? Or what do they intend to do? Pile one's ex, what are you intending to do, pile one's ex? Hidden gifts. So they might be showing up with maybe, I don't know, some kind of a gift or something. Maybe the two of you have like a favorite restaurant or, you know, a favorite coffee spot or something that symbolizes the time that the two of you had together. And they may actually be a little bit sly about it. They may be like, if they have something of yours that they've been holding on to, they might use that as a way to kind of open up the door. Or they might just be saying like, oh, you know, I was in such store and I saw this and I thought of you and I had to get it for you. That might be their way of kind of like trying to get their foot back in the door again. If the two of you have been out of contact for a while, but I do feel like, I feel like they're scouting. They're looking for information to see if they're clear to shoot their shot again with you. But, yeah, they're kind of looking for an opening. I don't know, maybe something happened between the two of you where, oh, look at this in friendship. That might be how they try to come back in. And you know what, pile three or pile one, that actually isn't that bad of a thing. Like if they're wanting to come back in and try and be friends first so that they can reestablish trust with you, I mean, that's how you build really solid foundations. And I feel like they realize maybe this is where you guys went wrong in the past, is you weren't friends first. You know, or maybe you weren't really friends at all in the relationship itself. And they realize that. They realize that that important component of a relationship either was never there or it was lost somehow. And so, you know, they do want a romantic connection with you, but they're going to want to focus on building up being friends first, so that when the two of you do reestablish that romantic connection again, it's going to be established on a very firm and solid foundation. And I do feel like they do miss the friendship that you guys had when the two of you were together. Like I'm feeling like things may have gotten pretty bad towards the end, where the two of you kind of lost that sense of being each other's friends, like you guys were together as lovers, but the friendship part of the relationship was lost. And they missed that too. Let's see. All right. X, tell me what you're thinking, pile one. All right, we got anchor, flipping over. they're a lot more stable now than they were before. Like, I feel like they've grown up quite a bit. I'm not sure how long the two of you have been in separation, but if it's only been a short time, oh wow, you guys, look at these cards. These are so beautiful. If you guys have been in if you guys have not been in separation for a while, then your absence has taught them a lot. They learned a lot about themselves in the absence of you, your connection, your friendship, and the relationship. They're a lot more grounded now, a lot more mature. Maybe they've taken this time to really level up in terms of where, you know, their financial stability goes. And they want to I feel like they leveled up somehow in their life, and they really miss being able to share stuff like that with you. And they're wanting to bring you back into their life to partake in the fruits of their abundance, or the fruits of their work, the fruits of their labor. And they really miss partying and hanging out with you. Like, if you guys went out and did a lot of things together, it's like a lot of things remind them of you. Like, if they're out and about with their friends and then they go to a hangout where the two of you used to go to, it can be very triggering for them. I don't feel like there's someone that outwardly will show that, but inside it's like, you know, it's almost like a bittersweet nostalgia. You know, it's like they miss you and they wish that you were there. Yeah. Okay. They miss you and they wish that you were there. Actually, I don't think we're going to work with this deck here. Get that off the table. We don't need that one. All right, let's get some actual... What's going to be happening with this connection here very soon? I'm not picking up any timing, you guys, as far as when they're going to be reaching out. Chemistry, the attraction you feel is mutual. Yes, they miss that. They miss the chemistry that the two of you have together. They miss that. And I feel like if it's been a while since the two of you have been around and they've tried to move on by dating other people, they haven't been able to find that with anyone else. Soulmate. Your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you unconditionally. And I feel that's how they think about you. They're really starting to see you as their soulmate. And the two of you may very well be soulmates. You know, and you've probably picked up on that from the very beginning, and they may have had a really hard time because they're so effing stubborn. You may have come along in a time of their life where maybe they thought they were ready for commitment. They thought they were ready for really close intimacy. But you touched a part of them that may have never been touched by any other person before, and it scared the crap out of them. And am also picking up too that they may have had some financial difficulties. If there's somebody whose energy is primarily masculine, like, you know, we're all made up of inner feminine, inner masculine energies. If they are the ones that are predominantly masculine, you know, then their second nature inclination is going to want to provide, to protect, and stuff like that. And so when someone who is masculine energy dominant is going through financial difficulties, it's very difficult for them to put their everything into an emotional connection. Sometimes it can be even impossible. So I feel like, you know, they've reconciled the being afraid of really deep commitment and, you know, deeply rooted intimacy, along with, like, they got their ish together, basically, financially. Okay, and now they're ready to, you know, give it a go again, basically. And don't worry, they're going to be coming, like, bearing gifts and stuff, you know. They're going to be feeling really bad about, I don't know if things maybe ended on a bad note, or they knew that the way things went down, that it really, really broke your heart. But they're going to be very sincere in trying to do what needs to be done for you to reestablish trust with them, you know, and that's part of the reason why it's like, if you tell them you just want to focus on trying to be friends first, you know, no physical intimacy maybe for, you know, a minute, they may not like it necessarily, but they'll understand. And they'll be willing to let you take the lead as far as how things develop the second time around, okay? So we got awakening. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation. I really do feel like the time spent apart really taught them about themselves. They learned a lot. They're learning a lot about themselves in this time. Like, you know, things that they didn't even know. Things that were subconscious that were triggered and brought into their conscious awareness. Like, they, you know, so basically what this is telling me is, like, if they told you in the beginning of your relationship, right, that they were ready for long term, they were ready for marriage, kids, they were ready for the whole shebang, and then all of a sudden something happened, they got scared, and then they basically may have ran away. It wasn't that they were leading you on or lying to you. They genuinely thought they were ready for that, but the concept of something versus the actual reality of it can be very jarring. And they realized they weren't ready yet. And it didn't have anything to do with you or your worth. And so, you know, but in this time spent away from you, they've realized several things about themselves, several things about you, and they've come to the conclusion that you're the one. I really do feel like in their eyes, you're the one they want to spend the rest of their life with. Formal commitment, engagement, stuff like that. Like, it's you. Like, I do feel they have tried to move on and they just could never find somebody just like you. Like, they were looking for, you know, that same spark, the same chemistry that the two of you share. It says, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. They grew up, you guys. They really did. They grew up, and they're continuing to grow up. I wonder if you are happy without me. See, this is why they're kind of lurking around. They might be checking your social media. They might be talking to, like, if the two of you have any kind of mutual friends, they might be kind of, you know, trying to inadvertently or indirectly get information about you. They're looking for a way back in, pile one. I am picking up on that. They are looking for a way back in. It's almost like, you know, they're afraid to shoot their shot because maybe they're, you know, afraid of rejection. They don't want to be rejected. They're not ready for that yet. All right. Now we have, yep. Not only do they look for you everywhere, but they were trying to replicate the connection and the chemistry and the spark that the two of you had in other relationships if they were dating other people, okay? If they were trying to move on that way. Yep, see, look at that. You were the best thing in my life. Pile one, they're coming back. They are coming back. For some reason, though, they're just kind of they're afraid that you're not going to be very accepting. It says you inspire me. I do feel like you're a muse for them. If there's somebody that's very creative, it's, you know, if they need motivation, it's like they tap into maybe things that you've said to them. And I do feel, too, like them getting their ish together financially was largely motivated by their feelings of you. Them growing up and maturing, trying to figure out why they weren't ready for that kind of a commitment. Like, I feel this person is actually very, very self-aware. They might believe in the law of attraction. They might believe in mindset healing, things like that. I don't know where they're at on their journey, but I feel like they have some understanding and some knowledge of it. And they realized there was some inner work that needed to be done. Not just because, you know, they didn't want to lose you, but they realized, you know, they didn't want to spend the rest of their life alone, but they don't necessarily They were trying to figure out why they felt so uncomfortable with such a close connection, because a part of them really wanted it, but a larger part of them was just deathly afraid of it. Let's get a couple more cards for pile 1, please. There we go. We have, I still feel the pain. And I want to make amends. Yeah, pile 1, your person is, they're not doing too well. I keep seeing this 5 of Cups energy coming through. It's like they really tried. They're very hopeful that they can make things right with you again with the Star. They have a wish. I think that was, yeah, there's a wish card over here somewhere. We got the wish card here, and then we got the Star. Like, they're hopeful, and they're right now right now in their state, like their energy right now, where they're at, that's their biggest wish. I don't know if something happened where it just kind of triggered this realization, this awakening to who you really are to them. And they realized, oh my God, she's the one, or he's the one, or they're the one. Like, oh my goodness, I don't want to live without them. I need to like make this right kind of energy. Like, I feel that this, like, they're going to be reaching out really soon, because I'm already picking up that they're looking for an opening. They're looking for a way to, you know, move themselves back into your life. They may come to you, like I said, with a gift or something like that. In their way, you know, they might be just asking you, can we at least be friends? But I do feel like that's genuine. Like, I'm not saying that they're going to come in with a false intention of being friends. Like, they really do want that friendship. And they're going to feel like they want to be guided by you. They're basically going to, you know, try to reestablish themselves in your life in some way and form some kind of a connection with you. And honestly, pile 1, the way that they feel, they're at a space right now where they're like, they are afraid of rejection, but, you know, and they're afraid that, you know, maybe you don't want to be with them romantically, but they're in their feelings about you. They're to a point where they're like, well, you know, I don't want to live my life completely without you. They don't necessarily just want to have a platonic friendship with you, but if that's the only way they can be in your life, you know, they'll deal with that, basically. But I really do feel like they're in love with you. And they're going to do whatever it takes to reestablish a connection with you in a way that you feel comfortable. Like, if there were trust issues, if they did something that you felt betrayed or you felt violated, you know, if they walked away without letting you know why or never gave you closure or anything like that, they realize what they did. They know they did wrong. And it's kind of in a way eating them up inside with this 5 of Cups energy. They hate it. They hate that they did that to you. And they want to make it right. They want to make amends. I'm hearing them say, I effed up a really good thing. That's what I'm hearing them say, pile 1. I effed up a really good thing and I want it back. And I'll do anything that I need to do to make things right with pile 1 again. All right, pile 1, those were your messages. That's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, please do me a favor and smash the like button. Comment, share, subscribe, but only if you feel led to do so. And I'll be seeing you guys again very soon. Thanks, pile 1. Hey, pile 2. If you chose the green onyx tumblestone, this is going to be your reading. And we're going to be looking at, or channeling, I should say, some messages from your ex, okay? So we're going to be tapping into your guys' connection, the energy of your connection, and seeing where they're at. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Are they entertaining the idea of possibly reaching out to you, reestablishing contact, returning, stuff like that. And I am going to keep these messages, you know, true blue according to how they're conveyed. So if that means that some information comes through that you are not wanting to hear, just do me a favor, you guys. Don't give me a thumbs down for being the messenger, okay? I keep, I'm a straight to the point, tell the truth kind of reader. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing and what I'm reading in the energy, as far as energy goes. And, I'll do my best to make sure that I can help you in terms of, if you receive a message that is kind of hard on your heart. I'm a very proactive reader. So I will, work with you to try to help you kind of clear out the attachment that is keeping you bound to a situation that's not going the way that you want it to go. But that's just kind of a disclaimer. I don't know what's in these cards. I haven't looked at them yet. All right, so let's just get right to it. Let's find out what is going on in your guys' connection. It says codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So one of you, and I'm having a feeling it's probably more you, like for most of you, you were the codependent one in this connection. And when we tend to be codependent on somebody, we can tend to smother them. They can feel our energy on them even when we are apart. We're doing too much. And, in our hearts and in our minds, we feel like that's the best thing to do because we think that that's what we would want. And so we were basically, how they tell you to treat others as you would like to be treated. Well, it's like, well, I want to, I would like, and I'm just giving you an example. So, we think, well, how would I want to be treated in a relationship where I would like to be contacted every day? I would like to be able to tell you everything about what's going on in my world. I would like to see you every day. And so we tend to duplicate those and do those things because we think, well, that's what I would want. So that's probably what they would want. And that is often not the case in the dynamics of, relationships. And so you may have been doing too much in this connection with your ex, pile 2, where the absolute best thing that you can do is just pull your energy off of that person and off of the relationship. So that simply means pulling your energy off of somebody means, you stop calling them, stop texting them. I'm not necessarily saying go no contact, but, like forever. But if they're not returning your phone calls, if they're not putting any effort into the connection whatsoever, it's just like pulling your energy is more than just doing things on the outside or not doing things on the outside. It's also reining in your energy, your mental energy and your emotional energy, refocusing your thoughts and peeling your thoughts and your emotions off of them because they can feel that and it pushes them away energetically. It's like a barrier. And so if you want to be a magnet, then you have to bring your energy to yourself. I mean, think about the dynamics between masculine and feminine energy. Our inner masculine and feminine energies. It's the masculine energy way is to be, what they call leaning in, throwing your energy out, penetrating, fixing things, trying to take care of things, wanting to change things, fixing, doing, acting, stuff like that, okay? And more often than not, if you were the codependent one and you're the one doing too much, your counterpart was somebody whose soul and whose energy is primarily made up of masculine energy. And so it's in their nature to want to do those things. But you can't have, if you think of two magnets and they're the same polarization, you got a masculine here and a masculine here, they're just not going to connect. There's no way. But if you have a masculine and a feminine, that's what causes the attraction, okay? So if their energy field and their soul is primarily masculine dominant and your energy is primarily feminine dominant, then it's like we all need to learn how to, for those of us whose souls are made out of, primarily feminine energy, how to fall back into that and embody that and live in that more. The thing about like current society is it's taught all of us, everyone, how to fully embody, live in, and express ourselves out of masculine energy. And so that's really done a number on relationships, because in relationships and romantic relationships, you can't have two masculine dominant people. That's why masculine dominant people, have friends. And I'll speak of this in terms of men, okay, just so you guys can kind of understand. But remember, even females can be naturally made up of primarily masculine energy, whereas they might be attracted to somebody who has more feminine in their energy. Okay, so the dynamics are at play either way, but I'm just kind of giving you an example. Like men who are masculine dominant in their energy, they go hang out with their buddies who are also masculine dominant energy, but they don't have romantic relationships with them. They want to have a relationship with somebody who is feminine, okay? And so you don't want to be somebody's buddy. You want to be their counterpart, right? Their romantic counterpart. And so, like, if this resonates, if you feel and you identify yourself as somebody whose soul is probably predominantly made up of feminine energy, then, that means you need to, or you're being guided to learn how to embody your feminine energy. And it's something we all have to learn because it's been shut down for so long. We've been taught not to live in that energy, okay? And so, yeah, that was quite a lengthy intro there, but let's see what we got. Simplicity. So I really do feel like your person is just kind of enjoying like maybe like your guys's relationship may have had a lot of conflict, a lot of turmoil, and they're really right now just enjoying the simplicity of life, not having those things. You guys have to understand that falling in love and falling out of love has little to do with us as people and everything to do with how we feel. And so, when we fall in love, it's because when we're with the person. Now, there's a difference between a toxic attachment and love, okay? Toxic attachment can keep us bound to somebody even when we're not happy, even when we're not feeling anything positive whatsoever, okay? Toxic attachment, you have to know the difference. Love, on the other hand, is something when, when we fall out of love, basically what people say is like, I haven't felt good about myself, or I haven't felt good about myself around you for a long time. That's basically all it means. It doesn't mean that, you've lost your attractiveness, or, and I mean, energetically it can. But what I'm saying is it's not anything that can't be reversed. It's just we have to put things in perspective, okay? So it sounds like your person is just really, or your ex is really kind of just enjoying time apart from this connection right now, because they may have felt suffocated is what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing. They may have felt suffocated in this connection, and right now they're just enjoying the, I guess, the peace, the simplicity of not being in a relationship right now, okay? If they are dating around, it's simply because, it's probably going to be with somebody that they don't have that same past with. I don't know if this person may have, done anything wrong to make you feel unsafe in the relationship, so it caused a lot of trust issues between you two. If they are dating somebody, it just simply means, they're starting over again. And I know that's difficult to take, and this may be true for some of you. This may be true for some of you, so this is the message coming through. If they are seeing someone else that you know of, pile 2, it's hard not to take it personally, but try not to take it personally. All you have to do, pile 2, is change your vibe. And what's in your vibe right now may be, and you think about your vibe is made up of years and years and years of, emotional, deeply traumatic emotional feelings. And emotional trauma doesn't have to necessarily result from physical trauma, right? It doesn't have to be anything that was physically happening to you at some point. Just the feeling of heartbreak, especially, when it triggers feelings of not feeling good enough, feeling abandoned, feeling rejected, and stuff like that. Those are acutely traumatic. You feel that pain in your heart and in your gut. And so, we carry that in our vibe. We carry that in our vibe. So all you have to do, pile 2, is just simply get your vibe right. Fall in love with yourself again. Learn that the way you're able to manifest and attract a healthy and securely attached relationship into your life is by having a healthy and securely attached relationship with yourself. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to manifest a healthy relationship if they're carrying around abandonment wounds or, wounds of I'm not good enough, wounds of insecurity and things like that. And so just maybe spend some time working on getting your vibe right and clearing your vibe of the abandonment wounds, of the I'm not good enough wound. And before you know it, you're just going to be a magnet for healthy, stable, securely attached relationships, okay? And it very well may be also that you end up attracting this person back if that's something that you want. If it's not, then you just move on your way. But that's usually what happens, you guys, when you start peeling your energy off of the other person and focusing it back on yourself, and with the purposes of falling in love with yourself, filling your own cup, and building a big juicy life for yourself. What ends up happening is energetically that channel is clear, and all of a sudden, exes start popping back up in your life. It happens quite a bit. All right, here we've got solitude and cave. We got replot course with lost. Then we got horizon with transformation. Yeah, for many of you, I'm not really picking up that this person, they may be dating, but I don't feel like they're actually they're not really pursuing any kind of a relationship, because they probably understand that they have some work to do as well. And this also may be kind of the energy that I'm picking up from you guys as well. And that's what I'm feeling like. This is more reflective of you than it is of them. Like, what is going on with this connection between them and you, pile 2, is really going to put you back if you allow it. If you allow yourself to kind of view the painful feelings that are coming up, just view them as visitors rather than trying to block them out. That's what makes them stronger. Resisting something makes it stronger. It doesn't make it go away. So, if you sit with the feelings and the thoughts that are coming up, rather than trying to stuff them down, numb them out, block them out, that's also kind of masculine energy. Resisting what is and wanting to fix something, that is also masculine energy. Feminine energy is very receptive, and it just allows life to happen and unfold as it is, and that includes our emotional and mental responses to challenging events. And so if something is triggered in you and you start feeling like I'm not good enough, and then you're starting to feel hopeless and despair and stuff like that, the feminine response to that is to actually receive. It's not even like you're receiving it, it's there. You're allowing it. You're not inviting it. Those feelings are already there. They have been there. They've been deep in your subconscious, probably for a very long time. The way that you get them out of your subconscious and you get them out of your energy field for good is by allowing them to come up. You sit with it. You even welcome it. Welcoming it So basically what happens as far as energy goes, if you're resisting something, you're making it stronger. If you welcome it, you allow it time to process, and finally it starts to disintegrate, destabilize, and finally it processes out of you. If you just sit with the pain long enough, and then you'll feel it start to weaken, then you ask yourself, can I let this feeling of rejection go? Can I let this feeling of being passed over go? Can I let go of wanting to hold on to so-and-so? Whatever feeling is coming up, you welcome it because it's already there. Instead of resisting it, wanting it to leave, telling it to, you know what I mean? It's already at the table sitting with you. You might as well just sit with it and ask it what it's feeling. Listen to what it has to say. And eventually it'll get up and go of its own accord. Okay? That's making sense, you guys. But there is some transformation, you guys, that's coming. I'm feeling like this relationship is probably a catalyst to your own transformation. Like, this relationship is a catalyst to you being able to heal. Okay, let's put these down here because I got some cute little cards I want to show you. I love this deck, you guys. I just bought it. It's hella expensive. I got it from Etsy. It's called Pink Divine Love Oracle. It's the last deck I'm going to be buying for a long time because I am in the process of completely overhauling my wardrobe, and I'm like, okay, I have enough decks anyway, but if I'm like not gonna buy for a while, then I might as well just go all out. Anyway, it's called Pink Divine Love Oracle by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot, and you can find her on Etsy. And no, this is not a plug. I just love this deck so much I don't get anything for for recommending it. All right, so we have Making Amends coming out. We got Divine Timing, Fated Destiny. So I am feeling like this person is not completely done with you, pile 2. They just need some time, some space away from you. And that includes time and space away from your energy. So if you've been separated for a while, but they're still not, you know, they're not coming around, it's because they can still pick up on your energy. You need to pull your energy back, focus it on yourself, focus it, you know, and what do I mean by that, focusing on it on yourself? You know, go create a big juicy life for yourself. Go make new friends, go hang out with the friends that you have. You know, go take a painting class or, you know, a dancing class or something where you're focusing your energy on yourself and you're doing things that make you happy, okay? In the beginning, it feels like, you know, you're just kind of, you feel like a fraud, but you start to create a habit of feeling at home in your own company, doing things that you love. Just keep doing it. It could take a month. It could take a couple of months. Just don't stop doing it. And actually what I'm hearing is it might take a couple of months. You know, you're creating a new habit, okay? What you're going to end up finding is that you're going to fall in love not only with yourself, but you're going to fall in love with your life. And thoughts of this person become less and less. And you might even open yourself up to the idea of dating other people again. And it's usually when you've let go of wanting this past person to come back that they actually do come back. But I mean, you literally have to get yourself to a point where you're over caring whether or not they do return. Like, you could care less either way, okay? All right, let's get, oh no, we got enough cards. So here we got Making Amends, we got Divine Timing and Fated Destiny, Repeated Patterns, Learn to Break Free. So I'm not sure, like, if this person coming back into your life might be the best thing. Like, okay, I understand. What's being said right now is, like, you have to, like, so this starts with you. The best chance that you have of this person coming back, if you want them to come back, is you changing. Because, I mean, obviously, they're not watching this video. You are. But the thing is, though, pile 2, if they do return and you guys do reestablish a connection, because I'm hearing that, yes, making amends, divine timing and fated destiny. It feels like this person is going to reach out and want to try again. But unless one of you changes the dynamic, because like if you guys just fall back into old ways, the same thing's going to happen. It's just going to keep happening, and it's going to be a cycle around and around and around again. So what you do is you learn how to enjoy yourself and how to enjoy life single, like really single. That way, anybody that you date romantically, you don't change those things. You still go to your dancing classes, you still hang out with your friends, you still live the life that you were living before that person. You just add them in on it. You don't completely drop your life. You know, that way that person's not feeling smothered by your energy, okay? So, I mean, it's actually a really cool thing. It's like, oh, I get to go and, you know, I get to go do things and love myself and enjoy myself and enjoy my life, and then, you know, this person just magically reappears and all of a sudden things just work out because I was loving me first. I was doing what makes me happy, right? All right, let's take a look at, get some more information on what your ex is thinking and feeling. Pile 2's ex, what are they thinking and feeling? Pile 2's ex, what are they thinking and feeling? What is pile 2's ex thinking and feeling? Let's get 4 cards for pile 2, please. What is pile... Queen of Swords. You might have a sharp tongue. Do you have a sharp tongue, pile 2? Or maybe they just, you feel like they brought out the worst in you. Hold on, hold on. Oops. Let's get one more. Okay. Well, so there's kind of like, okay, so right now, well, I wouldn't say right now, but I do feel like this person is kind of going back and forth. Like they do want to reach out, but then they don't want to reach out. And the thing that's making them not want to reach out is they may think back to some of your guys' arguments, some of the things that were said between the two. And it's like some of the arguments and the things that were said kind of really messed up the happily ever after vibe that they were hoping for. They still want, like they're still hoping for a connection. They still want that with you. So that's what I mean. It's like they go back and forth. They still want it. They just don't know if they can have it. And this is where, you know, you reconnecting with yourself, you falling in love with yourself and focusing all of your energy back in yourself. See, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of the times when we argue with somebody, it's because usually, you know, arguments are usually based out of fear. They're usually based out of like the push and pull dynamic and stuff like that. When you are solidly anchored and grounded in your own self-worth, and you know what your worth is, you're self-confident, you don't take a lot personally. And so you're able to kind of handle things, especially if you're feeling like you're not going to be feeling passed over because they're not communicating with you exactly how you wish they were. That type of thing. Like basically though, it's like you have to heal your own vibe first. I'm not saying that you have to. They're not watching this video though. You are, okay? Most of the time what ends up happening when someone returns is people fall back into old patterns, and it's that's where the off again, on again dynamic comes from. You know, unless you send them this video and they watch it and they really take it to heart, chances are they're not doing any work on their part. But, you know, that's the cool thing about energy. So if you start with yourself, you know, you build yourself up from the inside out, you're just going to be showing up as a whole completely different person. That's going to cause them to show up as a whole completely different person. And then you guys can have this relationship that it seems that both of you want. They still want that with you. Like if you guys have talked about getting married and having kids, they still want that with you. They're just afraid that they can't. Okay, and that may be why, like, you know, if they're not responding or reaching out to you, they're just kind of in a space right now where they're trying to figure things out. And the best thing that you can do, pile 2, is just to give them that space, including energetically. All right. I mean, I'm not saying that you're calling them all the time or texting them or begging them or stalking social media or anything like that. But giving them, you have to give them energetic space as well, because they can pick up on you thinking about them, talking about them, you know, feeling things about them and stuff like that. Let's get one card from this deck for pile 2, please. Okay, so your person basically is just focusing on getting their finances where they need to be right now. That's their main focus. That's kind of what, so they're basically doing what I'm telling you to do. They peeled their energy off of you and off of their relationship, and they're refocusing it on an area where they do feel good, or where they do feel they have some control. Actually, let's get a different one. So the good news is they're not done with you. They're not done with the relationship. They are contemplating. I mean, they're really, like I said, they're torn in 2 different directions. But I feel the energy is more stronger on the let's give it another try side than it is on the, you know, this is never going to work. We need to go our separate ways and stay that way. Okay. Yeah, distraction. Okay. So they're doing things right now that's keeping them distracted from feeling the pain of not being in your presence. So yeah, I really do feel like they are, I don't want to say they're taking it hard, but this is being out of your life, you know, not being that person for you is very challenging for them. And for some, you guys, it may be very difficult. They may have dove into their business or a business venture or something as a way to distract themselves from feeling the feelings of you, of the 2 of you not being together. If they're dating, that's what that is too. It's just a distraction. They're not dealing with the feelings of not being around you. I feel like they're very conflicted. That's really what's coming through. They want to be with you, but at the same time, they're kind of afraid of it. We got Clover. Let's get one more. They think about you a lot. Yep, they're going to be reaching out, you guys. They're going to be reaching out. Not really quite sure when, but, you know, like absence, I guess, is going to make the heart grow fonder, so they are going to be reaching out to you. I'm hearing pretty soon, very soon. And actually, it can happen probably, it just depends on you, pile 2, as quickly as you're able to just kind of peel your energy off of them and the relationship and just turn it inwards into yourself and start living your life. Probably, because it happens often. It happens often like that. That's when it happens, is as soon as they feel, even if it's subconsciously, and most of the time it is, they can subconsciously feel the absence of your energy, and that's when they try to tap back in, okay? All right, we have unavailable. This person is unavailable to give you all of you that you deserve. We also have awakening. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation. get one more, and then I'll channel some messages. One more for pile 2, please. Intuition, you already know the answer that you seek. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to work. It's funny, the way that things are communicated, I have to try to find a way to interpret it so that it can be understood by most. It's not that they're not ready and willing to go the full distance with you. They want that here with the Four of Wands and the Star. They still hope for that. They still want that with you. That's what they want. What they're having a hard time dealing with, well, was the codependency issue. The neediness, the emotion, like all of your energy being on them, it was very overwhelming. They didn't have the emotional availability to take on all of that responsibility. It's okay for them to be somewhat responsible for our happiness, but not even. It's like, you know, if you were wanting them to act a certain way, to show up a certain way, and yes, you know, we all deserve to be treated how we want to be treated, but sometimes we want to be treated in ways that come from a toxic place of fear. So if you were wanting them to call you, you know, multiple times a day, you know, constantly wanting to fix things in the relationship and stuff like that, you know, if they were constantly asking you, you know, for breaks or something, they had a hard time dealing with that, or, you know, accepting on that responsibility. What we have to understand is people who are masculine energy dominant don't do very well with the emotions, period. Some can be very, you know, it just depends on what their energetic makeup is, okay? And that's what, and honestly, someone who's masculine energy dominant, the quickest way to their heart is through your heart. And so if they feel like you're happy and they're making you happy, then that's when they feel they're able to move forward and you know, go the distance. You guys, there's an awesome resource that I want you to check out because I can't really get into it here, but check out Adrienne Everhart on YouTube, okay? She's an amazing relationship coach that talks about the dynamics in relationships between, you know, someone who's feminine, who's dominant in their feminine energy with someone that's dominant in their masculine energy, okay? It doesn't matter what sexual orientation you are or how you identify with yourself. We're all made up of two dominant energies. And so if you're someone that's feminine dominant, you're naturally going to be attracted to someone that's masculine dominant. And there's a certain way that there's a certain dynamic at play there. And she teaches all about it, okay? And so let's continue on. Something tells me, you guys, that you probably know this person has been thinking about you. Maybe you've seen some signs. But I really do feel if you allow yourself to detach from this relationship energetically, you know, withdraw your energy from it and learn how to, you know, connect with your feminine energy and embody it a lot more. And this may be the whole point of this, you know, this experience with them, was to get you back in touch with your feminine energy, because that's where you'll be living the most authentically. You guys, when we are out of balance, that it messes everything up, not just relationships. That's when we're not able to manifest the life that we want to manifest. And so this is kind of like the catalyst to get you started in an area where you are able to live the life that you want to live, have the kind of relationship that you want to have, you know, make the kind of money that you feel you deserve and stuff like that. All right, so your ex is saying, sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. I believe that. They believe about, you know, they think about the plans that the two of you made. I hide behind material things. Yep, with the career coming up. The career card. Distractions. Yep. They're distracting themselves. They're not really happy without you. Look and see, and then it says, I want you. They're going to be reaching out to you guys very soon. But it's imperative, you guys, that unless you want to have a repeat of what happened previously, that you do things differently, you show up differently. And the only way to show up differently, you know, you change your vibe. You start learning how to fill your own cup. You know, when you really, really love yourself, pile 2, you take a lot less things personally. You really do. And the quality of all of your relationships, not just your romantic relationships, but all of your relationships, you know, friendships, business relationships, partnerships, and stuff like that with your children, pets. Okay, here we go. We got your intellect arouses me. They're very turned on by you. They think you're very, very smart, and the two of you probably have conversations that they may not feel they can have with very many other people. I watch your social media. So they're checking up on you guys, and they say, I would do it all again. Yeah, they miss you. They do, and they want a second chance. They're just kind of right now, they're still in the space of, you know, they're still kind of in the space of battling. But like I said, most of the good energy is over here. So them wanting to contact you is going to win out. Okay, them wanting to have another chance is going to win out. Now, it's totally up to you whether or not you want to take them up on that chance. I'm getting the vibe for most of you. That's what you're wanting. All right. All right, pile 2, those were your messages. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Comment, share, subscribe if you feel led to do so. And I will be reading again for you guys very soon. Thanks, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Amazonite with smoky quartz, the rough stone. I love the rough stones. This is going to be your reading, and we are going to be channeling some messages from your ex. Okay, so we're going to be tapping into the energy of the connection between the two of you, seeing what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and just whatever whatever other messages come through. And just to let you guys know, whatever messages come through, you guys, I am going to share it, whether or not they're messages you may necessarily want to hear. Now, luckily enough, I haven't received any, you know, messages so far that were just overly harsh. And even if they do feel like that, I'll tame it down. But I'm only letting you know that just because I'm very true to, you know, your healing. I'm very committed to your healing, and healing doesn't happen when things are either sugar-coated or just completely skipped, okay? But what I will do, pile 3, is if I feel something that may cause you some hurt, you know, I'm very proactive with teaching you guys how to heal. I will, you know, guide you through the guidance of your higher self in the universe. I will tell you what the next steps are as far as being able to detach yourself emotionally and mentally from that connection, if that's what comes up. I have no idea what's in these cards. This is just a disclaimer, okay? All right, so let's get started. Let's find out what's going on in this connection, okay? Finances and career. So financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So it feels like this person probably is having some difficulties, well, obviously with their finances. And I know for a lot of us, now this is speaking mostly of somebody that might be masculine dominant in their energy, okay? Masculine dominant people, it's almost impossible for them to emotionally connect to someone when all of their emotional energy is being poured into you know, either saving their business, saving their livelihood, basically. So if they've ended things with you, if they literally, I can't remember what they tell them, like, I can't remember, like, maybe it's like they have, like, I don't have anything to give you right now, I'm not capable of being in a relationship right now, or something like that. They were actually speaking truth. It's like all of their emotional resources, because people with masculine dominant energy are more, their energy goes up more with their mental thinking, okay? And people who are feminine energy dominant, you know, we can feel feelings all day. We can have all the financial difficulties in the world, and our nature is to draw closer to those people that you know, we have the emotional resources to draw closer to the people during those difficult times, as opposed to people with masculine dominant energy. They don't. So they're like, I can't give you what you want right now because I don't have the emotional resources available. I have to be over here dealing with this situation. They literally can't do both. And so I feel like that's primarily what's going on in this connection right now. They may not even realize that that's what's going on, but energetically they can't, like, all of their focus is going on to saving their livelihood, basically. That's where all of their emotional energy is going to. It's not because you're not good enough, they didn't enjoy your company, they just did not have the emotional recesses to deal with the responsibility of a relationship, of a romantic relationship. Okay, here we've got guide. Interesting. Oh, and then we got victim. So they're really having a hard time. They're really having a hard time. I don't know what's going on with your person or your ex. They're really having a hard time. Like, whatever's going on feels like it may have hit them out of left field. And I feel like, I don't know if they're spiritual, or if they're religious, or if they believe in a higher power or anything like that, but they're feeling pretty just kind of left out in the cold right now. Yeah. All right, let's get some more information for pile 3, please. Pile 3. Whoa. Okay. Here we have spotlight, all eyes on you, pride, ego, recognition. We also have worst nightmare, karmic connection. Okay, for some of you that might be true, but you guys, karmic connection doesn't always have to mean that it is like a narcissistic type of thing. Well, I'll talk more about it here in a minute. Gossip, drama, negativity, and pettiness. Oh, there's a lot going on in their life right now. Then we got make-believe, fairy dust, imaginary, false, too good to be true. Okay, so they're having a really difficult time. They cannot see anything clearly right now. Like, their laser focus right now is on saving their livelihood, whatever that means. They tie a lot of their self-worth into what they do for a living, how much money they make, the kind of house that they live in, the kind of car that they drive, how, you know, things like that. And the fact that they are struggling right now is really, and this may come to a surprise to you. Maybe you don't realize that this person is even in that boat, but that may be because, you know, they just, you know, I knew somebody like that personally as well. Like, they put on a front that they were doing better financially than what they actually were. And so that may be very well what's going on with you. You may have no idea what they're going through financially. And I don't think this karmic connection, that's not talking about the relationship. I feel like they're dealing with karma in regards to their business or their job or their finances. Like, this is why they're kind of like, they feel like a victim of karma, basically. Which I don't know. I mean, karma isn't something, you know, you reap what you sow kind of thing. But it is difficult when you're dealing with karma from past lives, because you may not have done anything in this lifetime to really warrant that karma, but you're dealing with karma from past lives. So they may feel like, what the hell is going on? They don't realize, or like, you know, maybe they're doing everything right, but they still are met with a lot of, you know, financial hardships and trouble. But they're really worried about losing what they have, because the opinions of others, like I said, their self-worth is tied into how much money they make and what they do for a living. And they are very afraid of other people catching wind of them not doing as well as what they may allude to. They don't want to be the focus of gossip. They don't want people to talk about them or think negatively about them. But I have a feeling that they may have put off they may have put out, I should say, they probably put out an image of doing better financially than what they actually are. That's for some of you, okay? But they are having a really difficult time right now. A really difficult time. All right. So basically what, like at this point, until they're able to, until they are able to get their finances stabilized again, they're not going to have the resources for anything serious at all. They're just not. Let's get one card from this deck for pile 3. Forgiveness. Let's get one more card. Or from a different deck. We'll talk about what these things are in relation to. They feel bad that they weren't able to give you everything that you wanted. They do feel bad. Finding forgiveness. Two things are coming up. I think they are realizing that they're dealing with some kind of karmic situation here regarding their finances. They're trying to make it right, maybe somehow. And at the same time, they're hoping that you can forgive them for not being able to be who you wanted them and needed them to be in the relationship. Let's pull some tarot and see what the tarot has to say about that. What are you thinking, pile 3's ex? Tell us what you're thinking. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you wanting? They may reach out to you at some point just to kind of test the waters again, but unless their financial situation has improved, it's just kind of like a heads up. Pile 3, they're not going to be in a place to be able to give you what you want. They're just not. So just know that moving forward, if you choose to. Oh, they got too much going on. Feeling very disillusioned right now, they are. See, and this is where they want to be. They want to be in this energy over here, but they're stuck in this energy over here. This is where they're wanting to move into, the Knight of Pentacles and King of Wands. Like, they want to be stable, They want to be on solid ground financially. They want to be that person. They want to have all their ish together, but they just don't. Not in terms of, you know, really, this is kind of like this whole situation with their money and their finances is really causing it's causing instability in every single area of their life. I don't know if they have spending problems. Like maybe they don't have an issue making money. It's, you know, spending it after they bring it in. I'm not really quite sure, but I just have a feeling like they're either losing their job, or, you know, at the risk of losing their job, losing clients if they own their own business. Maybe the business is is under a threat of being shut down or going under. And I just feel like there is some management issues around there somewhere. Money management issues, business management issues, something. I just feel like they weren't that responsible with their money and or their business, and now it's catching up to them. It's like they're reaping what they sow. Karma's coming around to collect. And if that's not really what's going on, it could be that they're, you know, karma's collecting now for what may have happened in a past life. And as long as they're able to not go back into those old patterns again, karma can be closed, and then they'll be able to move forward and rebuild, and things will be fine. You know, things like that. But they're having a really rough time. They don't have the ability, they don't have the resources right now for a serious, deeply, intimately, you know, an intimate commitment. Not saying that they don't want that. Yeah, obstacles and delays. I'm not saying that they don't want that. They just can't. They can't. We got book. All right, so yeah, their focus is pretty much just on saving their livelihood right now. Like they're putting a lot of their, you know, right now it feels like they're putting a lot of their energy and their resources, money included, into turning the ship around as far as the why am I saying insurance? Maybe some of you, maybe this person is in some kind of insurance. Insurance. Why are they talking about insurance? Huh. Maybe it'll come up pretty soon. Anyway, so yeah, there's this huge, like this mountain, right? There's this huge mountain. They can't see past this mountain. They can't see anything other than this mountain. All they see is like, oh my God, I got to climb that. How am I going to climb that? How am I going to do that? They're like, there's no effing way. And this is all that they see. This is all that they can deal with right now. And this situation is going to bring them growth somehow. But it may be a while, pile 3, before they are actually really ready for a relationship. Like if they come back around, just know it's going to be the same-ish, different day with them. Unless this situation over here has gotten resolved. But they are going to grow from this though. But not in your timing, but in their timing. And they do. They want to grow for it. But I feel like, you know, so talking about with the book with secret or apprenticeship, yeah, with the secret there, it's like you may not even know they're having financial issues. You may not even know. And with the apprenticeship, I think they may be giving off an impression that they're more professional or they're more knowledgeable or they're higher up than they really are. Like they're giving off an impression they're an expert, but they're not really an expert. They're barely even a beginner. And like I said, that's because they base their self-worth and their identity comes from the amount of money that they make and the work that they do. And so they're wanting people to believe a certain thing about their business or their job and their financial situation than what is actually going on right now. And it's starting to crumble down. All right, let's get 3 cards for pile 3, please. Oh, they said I left you before you could leave me. So they wanted to reject you, or maybe that's what it was. They could tell that they weren't making you happy. They weren't able to make you happy. And so it feels more like, it doesn't feel more like they were trying to leave you before you left them because they couldn't deal with the rejection. They just knew that things were going to get worse and that you would probably stick around no matter what. And they wanted to do the right thing in their mind, do the right thing by you and let you go. You know, they couldn't make you happy. They didn't have the ability to make you happy. So they wanted to let you go so that you could go maybe, you know, find happiness somewhere else. This is, I am not available. That's obvious. And this is, I knew exactly what I was doing. Yeah. I am detecting that there's some dishonesty here. Like like I'm saying, like they didn't give you the full, I don't know how to say it, the full rundown on their financial situation. They may have hinted a little bit about it, but they didn't really tell you, like, my career is in jeopardy, or my business is really close to being run, you know, closed or run into the ground. You know, they might be dealing with, you know, trying to save their house from being foreclosed on, or cars being repossessed. I mean, it's that bad. That's for a lot of you, I feel like that's what they're fighting against right now. It's like they're trying to fight against that. Aw, it says I saved your texts and messages. They didn't want things to end, pile 3, but they just, like I said, they didn't have the emotional resources to give. I'm hearing that they didn't leave you because they didn't love you. They left because they couldn't make you happy. And if you left them, that just simply means that, you know, hold on, I have trouble with intimacy and I see life differently now. Yeah. They have trouble with intimacy when this part in their life isn't going right. And this whole situation really is causing them to see things a lot differently. They're learning a lot about themselves in this time. I'm not picking up really whether or not they're going to be reaching out again anytime soon, pile 3. I mean, my advice for you would be just to kind of move on. If this relationship with this person circles back around at some point, then, you know, you guys can move on from there. But just like peel your energy off of this person and the relationship and go build yourself, you know, focus that energy back into yourself. Start filling your own cup, start doing things that make you happy. You know, start making it a habit to start living and enjoying your life without this person in it. And it may take a while. It could take, you know, 2 to 6 months before you really start to realize, oh, you know, you're hanging out with your friends and you're feeling, you know, you're happy. Like, you know what I mean? It might take you some time, but that's really that's the best course of action for you to take at the moment. They're just not ready for a committed relationship right now. And if they do end up dating somebody, I guarantee you it's going to be all on their terms, on your ex's terms. You know, they're not going to have a lot of mental and emotional energy to expend. And so if they do get with anybody else, just know, I mean, that person is basically going to be living off of breadcrumbs with them too, okay? They're not ready for it right now. We got vulnerability. You can be completely open with this person. Let's get a couple more cards. They still do think about you though, pile 3. They don't have nothing to give at the moment. Let's get 2 more for pile. Or how many here? 3 more. Okay. Okay, so we have rejection. This rejection is actually divine protection. We also have spiritual lesson. This person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. And then look at that. We have twin flame. This is a divine counterpart connection. If you don't really buy into the whole twin flame concept, that just simply means this person is someone that you had a soul contract with. For the purposes of healing, you know, deeply hidden triggers within you, okay? If you do believe in the twin flame concept, then this is possibly a twin flame connection, which obviously is going to be teaching a ton of spiritual lessons. So the best course of action right now, you guys, is just to pull your energy off of this person and off of, you know, what they're doing, who they're with, you know, is there a chance that they're going to come back, and focus that energy back onto yourself. Now, you know, when we say peel back the energy, that's more than just not texting, not calling, not, you know, going on their social media, stuff like that. That's also, you know, peeling off your mental energy and your emotional energy. They can feel when you're thinking about them, when you're hurting over them. And of course, you know, those things, being able to master your emotions and to train your thoughts, that's why it's suggested that you genuinely go out and start living life. You know, take painting classes, dance classes, you know, go make new friends, join a gym, you know, do something and focus that energy back on yourself so that, you know, you're not spending as much time thinking about them and the connection. And it's going to take some time. It's not going to be anything that happens overnight. But if you are diligent in this, pile 3, 2 to 6 months is what I'm hearing. 2 to 6 months. Maybe even start dating if you haven't started dating yet. And, you know, don't necessarily date to find their replacement or to find the one. Date for the purposes for both just meeting new people, possibly making new friends, and or allowing yourself to be triggered so that you can clean your vibe up, okay? Because a lot of the times of dating can be very triggering, but you have to remember that something is not going to be triggered if it doesn't exist. So, you know, triggering feelings of, you know, oh, the one's not out there for me. That wouldn't be triggered if it's not somewhere in your vibe. And so that's what dating can really be. It can be both, you know, fun and exciting just because, you know, you're just, oh, I'm going to meet a new person, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, looking forward to seeing, you know, whether or not there's going to be an actual connection with that person. And if not, then, okay, we'll see what this person triggers in me so that, you know, after the date is over, I can go home and release those triggers and get them out of my system forever. Okay? All right, you guys, those were your messages. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please do me a favor and smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, but only if you feel led to do so. And I look forward to reading again for you guys very soon. Thanks, you guys. Hi, Pile 4, and welcome to your reading. My name's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you chose the Ametrine point, this is going to be your reading, and we're going to be channeling some message from your ex. So we're going to be looking into what they're thinking, how they're feeling, whether or not they are contemplating or, entertaining the thoughts of reaching out or returning. And just a disclaimer, you guys, I don't know I haven't peeked into this pile yet to see what's here, but just a disclaimer, I'm going to read the messages as they are conveyed. I'm not going to skip over any information in case, it's hurtful or stuff like that. And I'll of course deliver the messages in the most compassionate way possible, but I'm true to the messages, to the energy that is conveyed. And the reason why I want to be that way is because that's how healing happens. I'm all about your healing. I'm all about your transformation. I'm all about helping you guys to clean out your vibes, so to speak. And so if something comes through that I know is going to possibly cause you some emotional or mental pain, I will communicate that to you. And at the same time, I will, along with your higher self in the universe, guide you to how you can heal from that. Okay, so you can really move on and break the toxic attachment and heal the toxic attachment system that connected you with the person to begin with. But that's just a disclaimer. I don't know what's in this pile yet, okay? But I just wanted to throw that out there for you. All right, I'm all about helping you guys out and getting you guys to a place where you can eventually live your best life. All right, so let's get into the reading. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, so it does feel like a reconciliation. Actually, hold on. Before I say anything, let me look and see what's in the rest of these cards. For some of you, okay, for some of you, where if this relationship didn't have any kind of cheating, any kind of manipulation, where this person was not constantly violating your boundaries and stuff like that, if it was just something that didn't work out because of maybe some inconveniences, then a reconciliation is probably going to come into play. But if this is someone who did a number on your self-esteem, if this is somebody who did a number on your self-confidence, I'm hearing that the universe has closed the door on them for you because there's something better coming in. Okay? So take whichever message resonates with you. There's a couple of different groups here, all right? But if you are the one where you dealt with somebody who was borderline narcissistic, sociopathic, or they had heavy narcissistic and or avoidant attachment tendencies, and the two of you were like constantly going around and around in circles, the universe closed the door to that, okay? And there's something in the wings waiting to be manifested into your experience. We got inner vision and journey. Yeah, and then we've got boast and humility. I feel like, yeah, this person, you guys, and again, this is a general reading, okay? Just please take what resonates. And if for the most part, if this message does not resonate with you, then it's probably just, go pick one of the other piles. But for the most part, your ex, I'm feeling like, even though we're channeling messages from the ex, I feel like I'm channeling messages from actually your higher self. Like the universe is stepping in and saying, the door to that is closed. This is what they need to know. And so I'm feeling at this point in time, we'll see how the reading develops, but at this point in time, I'm not really feeling the energy of your ex coming through. It's more of the universe, your higher self, okay? Like this person was put in your path for a reason. And I do feel for the vast majority of you that this person had heavy narcissistic tendencies and or they were very, very avoidant. but they were put in your path for a reason. They were part of your journey, and they were scripted in that way by your guys' souls before you ever even came, like before you incarnated here. But I have a feeling that maybe one or both of you kind of hung on too long, like you weren't able to close the door yourself, so the universe had to step in some manner to do it for you. And the universe stepping in could be them having to move away for a job, or, you know, you having to move away. The universe could even do something like move like another romantic interest into their life to keep their attention off of you long enough so you can heal and move on, because there's something coming in, and you would miss it if you were still stuck on this person. Okay, so for some of you, that's going to highly, highly resonate. I hope that's giving you some kind of closure, maybe soothing your heart a little bit. You're like being rerouted, I feel. I feel like you're being rerouted. Let's get... your higher self is really wanting you to connect with it more. Like all the guidance you could ever need, you could get immediately. Even maybe, I don't know if you're calling out for help. If you're not, you're missing out on like one of the best resources available. Like whatever your higher power is, the universe, God, spirit, source, like your higher self, you know, is like, you know, it's there. It's like, I'm here, you know, talk to me, you know, ask me for your help. It can't act without you giving it permission, okay? If you need help with healing, ask it to help heal you. If you need understanding, it'll give that, you know, anything you need. It's like, I'm here, talk to me. All right, oh, we got spring, so we got some timing popping in. Now this could mean actual spring, like the season spring, or it could just be talking about the time in your life where you're at right now, because it talks about new seeds being planted, new pathways, and new beginnings. So yeah, I feel like the vast majority of you on this reading, this is more focused for you to, you know, this is more for those of you where the universe shut the door on that past relationship because it was either karmic in nature, and that karma is closed up, and it needs to not be part. You don't need to create new karma with this person. And the universe shut the door on that relationship because your real soulmate, your real divine counterpart, is due to be manifested, and it cannot manifest with this person still actively in your life. Okay, so if they are seeing someone else, and it seems like, you know, they want little to do with you, or it's like it seems like that person is everything they wanted. You know, I hear like you know that emoji where it's like they put their finger up to their mouth and they're like, shh. That's kind of like what I just saw the universe do. Your higher self was like, shh, you know, it may be too good to be true. Like, don't worry about what's going on over there. Looks aren't everything. Appearances aren't everything, okay? But just know that person was moved into their path so that their attention could be diverted off of you long enough for you to heal, for this next relationship to be manifested in, okay? Here we have alone, abandoned, loner, closed off, sugarcoat, superficial expressions, not all that's cracked up to be. Then we've got affectionate, lovey-dovey. I feel like they're probably love bombers. Like they're all hot and heavy in the very beginning, and then you know, maybe a week or 2 weeks, or maybe even a month goes by, and then all of a sudden it's back to the same old ish. And that was hurting you. You were feeling very abandoned. And I'm thinking you have the tendency to kind of try to sugarcoat, because it's like hard for you to really face the pain head on, and so you try to sugarcoat what's happening, you know, with pleasantries, I guess. But it's like this person, yes, they were love bombing, but it's not always so sincere. It says superficial expressions, so they knew what they were doing. And it says not all cracked up, you know, it's not all that's cracked up to be. Like this person was going to be incapable of ever being able to give you what you wanted. Even if they were to marry you and have kids with you, you would still feel very emotionally unfulfilled. And you'd be missing out on what's coming in. And I feel that what's coming in is going to be a direct 180 from this person. Like, you want emotional fulfillment, the person coming in is going to give that to you. You want excellent, steady communication, this person's going to be able to give that to you, because they're going to be healthy. They're going to be emotionally and mentally healthy with the resources that they need to give that to you. Who's coming in is going to love themselves and value themselves. And so they're going to be able to know how to fill their own cup. And then out of the abundance that their cup is overflowing, they're giving that to you. This person isn't in that position. Their cup is empty, so they're constantly taking. I feel like they're energy vampires, emotional vampires, mental vampires. Yeah, and so I know it's hard, you know, when you're inside the turmoil of the breakup or the absence, and you're dealing kind of like the feelings of withdrawal from, you know, trying to get over a relationship. But from the outside looking in, it's like just, you know, like it says, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your life. I mean, hold the vision of what's coming in for you. And you will be so thankful that the universe shut the door on this person permanently the way that it did. Okay? You'll be understanding very soon why things went the way that they did. And then you'll be so thankful. Sometimes if we aren't strong enough to do what needs to be done, you know, to continue on our path, the universe will step in, you know, at some point and be like, okay, you know, it's time, you know, we've been diverted for long enough. We need to, you know, we need to go back this way. And, you know, it'll throw all kinds of things in your path to try to get you back on track again. And it'll do whatever, you know, it'll do whatever it needs to do to get you back on track again. All right, tell us about Pile 4's ex. Pile 4's ex. What are they thinking and feeling? Very unbalanced. They're a hot mess, Pile 4, honestly. And I feel like they were throwing you off balance. They were absolutely throwing you off balance. They were trying, okay, so whether they are aware or consciously aware of it or not, they feel out of balance all the time. And so that's how they try to get themselves back into balance, is by siphoning other people's energies, because they don't know how to fill their own cup. It's very toxic. High Priestess, yeah. They don't know that they're doing that. See, they subconsciously, okay, so they are very unbalanced. But that fact to them is hidden. They don't know, they're not consciously aware, like they're not necessarily doing it on purpose. It's just kind of like a really nasty habit, and, you know, it's just a nasty habit that they have. They subconsciously balance themselves out by stealing other people's energy, basically. Okay, oh look, we got the Queen of Swords reversed. With the Page of Swords, yeah. They are a hot mess. They're not connected to their heart space at all. It's all mental. So emotionally, they're just, I feel what's coming up is like they're dead inside. Emotionally, they are dead inside. Mentally is just, it's a mess as well. they're just a mess. Your ex is a mess. You can't fix that, pile 4. They can't. I mean, they could fix it, but I don't feel like they're in the kind of spiritual maturity where they can take an honest look at themselves. Like, their issues are still mainly subconscious right now. They don't even know that they have a problem. Yeah, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. They don't even know that they have a problem. They're feeling, so they're completely numb as far as emotions goes. They're completely, like, feeling dead inside. They're closed off at the heart space, completely closed off. They're running off, they're just purely mental energy, and that is highly imbalanced as well. I mean, it's toxic, you guys. This is a very, very toxic energy. I'm hearing toxic soup. They're toxic soup. Let's get one card from this deck, please, for pile 4. That's way too many. One card from this deck for pile 4, please. As far as them coming back, pile 4, I'm not seeing that yet in the energy, in this energy. I'm not picking up on the energy that they have any kind of intentions of actually making it back your way. And I think the universe it has a hand in that. Here we've got admiration. I'm picking up heavy, heavy narcissistic vibes from this person. Heavy, heavy narcissistic vibes. Like, there's nothing wrong with admiring yourself or admiring another, but like they have kind of like a grandiose sense of self-importance. They want other people to admire them. Then we got commitment. I feel like they want commitment because, you know, they want a relationship, a committed relationship, because that's kind of what people expect of them. But I don't really feel like it's very superficial. Like, they're not going to want someone, they're completely closed off to their heart space, so they can't ever fully see somebody from a soul level. They don't even know themselves at a soul level. They just want the relationship, the same reason why they want a flashy car or a nice house, honestly. That's what they want. It has nothing to do with building a genuine connection with somebody and learning about somebody from a soul level. It's all about, you know, what they look like, how good they're, you know, how good their other person's going to make them look to other people, you know, how them as a couple can impress other people. It has nothing to do with being heart connected at the heart. They're disconnected at their heart. They're not even connected to themselves. They're not connected to them higher selves. They're not connected to their soul. They're just a hot mess. Like, and I'm hearing like the universe go, don't go that way. Stay away from that door. Don't even think about opening it. You know, I mean, you can if you want to. You got free will, but the universe is like, don't do it. It's going to put you back in more pain. Just leave it alone. You know, redirect your energy towards the future. Redirect that energy back into yourself and to learning how to fill your own cup. It's like the two of you were two empty cups. You know, you were an empty cup trying to fill another empty cup, and, you know, it was chaos, I feel, for a lot of you. Here, yep, we got mice with loss and thief. This person really drained you of your energy. You may have even felt like your health or your hygiene has, you know, when you were in an active connection with this person, you may have felt your health and your hygiene suffer. And, you know, and pay attention to stuff like that. Like, if you have been reclaiming, like if all of a sudden now it's like you're feeling better physically, you're looking better physically than you did when you were with them, there's a reason for that. We got secrets and apprenticeship with the book, open book. They may have made themselves out to be an open book, but they really weren't. They really weren't. They weren't capable of being an open book. They don't know themselves that well. They only know what they want. You got stability and security. I feel like that's what they may have promised. And I feel like that's what they stole from you too, was a sense of stability and security. Why is there a thing in here? They really, yeah, they just weren't able to meet you at that level. I feel like they stole your energy, definitely stole your energy. They may have done quite a number on your self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, and your self-confidence, and just really caused a number just on your life in general. Like, I feel like they took so much from you that they shut you down emotionally, possibly even mentally, which caused you to probably not be able to show up in your natural form. You probably became a whole different person in this connection. People may have even been like, they don't recognize you. Like, they didn't recognize you when you were with this person. You were a completely different person in this relationship than you were outside of it. That's because they were stealing your energy from you. And when you didn't have nothing left to give, you shut down, and then they bailed. Because there was nothing there. They needed to go find somebody else, you know, that had something to give, because that's just how they are. I need some cards for pile 4, please. Let's get 3 from this deck. Play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. Now, I feel like this is coming from your higher self. Like, this is for you, pile 4. Go play, go build your life, go make new friends, go, you know, reestablish connections with your old friends, you know, go try different things, you know, take a painting class. I've said this in almost every, in every one, in everything, but, in every pile, I mean, you know, what's something that you've been wanting to do? You know, are you wanting to travel? Go travel. You know, have you been wanting to take, like, you know, salsa dancing or belly dancing? Go try that. You know, are you wanting to take swimming lessons, or, you know, maybe learn how to play an instrument or something? It's like, you know, start building you a beautiful, juicy life. Eventually, you're going to wake up one day and realize that you're actually happy, you know, with your life, even though this person's not in it. Okay, we got regret. Someone feels remorse for the way they treated you. And then we've got obstacles with unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. Yeah. For sure, the reason why the universe did what it needed to do to close the door to the past is because, and it gave you time to do it yourself, but like the rest of us, especially those of us who are kind of more on the codependent side, the anxious attachment side, or the fearful avoidance side, we can't. It's like our toxic attachment systems really just, they don't allow us to. So sometimes the universe has to move in and just do it for us. Because, you know, the universe is all about giving you what is in alignment with your highest good. And your soulmate that's coming in is going to be what you've always wanted this person to be, and more. But in order for that to manifest into your experience, this person and their energy needed to be completely cut out of your life. Period. Point blank. Nothing else. Because you can't manifest something into your existence when all of your energy, your vital force energy, is being spent on something else. Like, they stole more than just your confidence. I mean, they really stole your ability to manifest the life that you were wanting to live. There's so many people on the earth that do this. I'm not saying they know that that's what they're doing, but that's what was happening. Now, as far as the regret goes, I'm hearing maybe a few of them might have some, because I said, you know, this being a general reading, just take what resonates. But if this person was not like a full-blown narcissistic sociopath, you know, maybe they just had narcissistic tendencies, then people that have narcissistic tendencies do have moments of genuine remorse, regret, and guilt. And it may be very well that this person, if that's more with what you resonate with, and those people can still be energy vampires, you guys. They don't have to be full-blown narcissists to be energy vampires. But there may be something that happened between the two of you where they actually do genuinely regret the way things went down, okay? Let's get... 3 cards from this pile, please. I feel so drawn to you. There may be that inexplicable draw, but remember, it's toxic. It's not necessarily, and then your intellect arouses me. Yeah, it's like they're wounding. They feel drawn to you for your energy, but they feed on your energy. They're energy vampires. And this says, I can't reach out. So there may be an indication where they're wanting to, but they're being prevented from reaching out. And it may be because they're kind of in, I feel for most of you, this person might have a third party situation where they're not, they don't feel free. They don't feel, there's something keeping them from being able to reach out to you, even though, you know, possibly because they're seeing somebody else. I am becoming a better person. Get 2 more cards. I feel like that's what they tell themselves. That's what they want to believe. You may have said something to them along the lines of, like, you know, they're not going to be, you know, healthy for anybody. They're not wanting to believe that about themselves. They truly want to believe. Like I said, you know, their tendencies are very subconscious. They don't know that they feed off of other people's energy. They don't know that. They just know that they get into relationships with people that start off a certain way, and then all of a sudden it's like the other person seems to shut off or shut down or do something, and then it's just like, well, gotta move on. They don't know the inner dynamics of the energetic dynamics that are at work. We do, though, don't we, pile 4? All right, let's get 2 more cards. It says, I replay our conversations over and over. We both know I am not the one for you. So, okay, so, I mean, for those of you whose ex wasn't a full-blown narcissist, there is some regret there. But it's just like, this is not the relationship. This person, regardless of what they believe about themselves, they're still very much energy vampires. They're completely closed off to their heart space. Their mind's a mess. They're just a hot mess. They're closed off to themselves. They're closed off to their higher selves. They have no idea, really, how to even survive in this world without draining other people of their energy, because they don't know. They're completely cut off. They cannot fill their own cup. So they have to use other people's energies to fill their own cup. You know, and if they get with somebody who also doesn't know how to fill their own cup, like, I feel like you have the ability, pile 4, to fill your own cup. You just haven't learned how to do it yet, or you haven't gone through the healing journey to do that yet. And things may have gone a little bit better if you knew how to fill your own cup, but it's like, still, who wants to be with an energy vampire? Who wants to be with someone that's constantly draining them of their energy all the time? You know? Yeah, the universe has got something so much better. You know, it's going to be a mutual exchange of energy between you and your upcoming soulmate. This person is not going to compare in many, 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 many ways. The universe is saying they're not going to compare at all. Like, you're going to be so happy that this whole thing is over and done with. Like, you're going to be seeing the perspective from a whole different place if you haven't already started to see it, to where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that the universe, you know, moved them out of my way the way that it did. Because you would have been going around and around in circles probably for, you know, many more years. All right, pile 4, that was your messages. That's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed it, please do me a favor and smash the like button. Comment, share, subscribe, but only if you feel led to do so. And I look forward to reading again for you guys very soon. Thanks, pile 4.